Hi guys, Muskan Agarwal here again. So in this video, we will discuss about security like encryption, encoding, hashing, how these concepts are being used in today's world. So in today's generation, there is a lot of data being generated on daily basis, like millions and billions of data being generated. And as this data is generated, the security is becoming more and more crucial. Every organization, every company, even the government focuses majorly on the data, users' data. It is very crucial because it is PII of user, that is personal identity information of user. And if any hacker could get that, it can use it to do anything, like their bank details, their number, their email IDs, everything is interlinked to each other, like Aadhaar card is there, PAN cards are there, bank accounts are there. So everything is linked, and if the PII is leaked anytime, it could be used as a harm to the user, right? So in today's world or today's generation, it is very crucial to secure the user's data, right? Any health information, any personal information, it has to be secured. Now, how this security is implemented in place to secure the data of the user. So whenever I'm interacting with any website or an app, I generally I generally log in, right, through my username, passwords, or any such method like Gmail or something. But since I'm logging in, I'm giving their personal details to them, right? And they can use it to do anything. I can't trust them. How I need to trust them is that through the trust policy, through the policies or agreements which they show up whenever you log in to their site or to their app, right? They tells in that policy everything, how the password, how the data you are giving to them, they are using it, they are sharing it with any third party service or not, or if anytime your data is leaked, who will be responsible for that. Since we do not read these policies or terms and agreements, we don't know about that, but it is actually very crucial to read through those policies, at least for the data, users data, like since if we are giving our bank details, our passwords or anything to them, so it's important to read that. Now coming to the concepts, like how the data which we are giving to them is secured, how they store that data into their database, or how they're managing our data. So for that, we have three concepts. First is hashing, encoding, and encryption. Hashing, if you have little bit knowledge about DSA's concepts or coding, you might have heard of hash maps, right? So what are hash maps? They work on a concept of key value. That means you can store a value, that is name of user, let's say Muskan. So if I need to fetch a username, I'll just do user.name and it will give me Muskan as a value. But if I give like Muskan, it won't give me the name, that Muskan is the name of the user. It won't give me that, but I can access this Muskan using this key. What I meant to say is here is you can access a value using a key, but you can't access a key using a value. It's a one-way process, right? If you have the key, you can access value, but if you have the value, that is of no use. So it's a kind of one-way process, which is that means it is irreversible. Irreversible means that if you have some if you have some original data, right, you pass it through some hash function, like mod of 10, mod of 5, something like some hash function you creates, and then it gives you a hashed value. This hash value is the like the tempered one or the encrypted one, and you use it to store that data in your database. But if you have this hash value, like if anytime I breaks into some system and I fetch these hashed values of the users, I can't do anything with those hashed values, because there is no algorithm, no such method to pass through that algorithm and get the original data. It's only a one-way process. So where this concept of hashing is used, it is used in data storage. That means whenever you have to store any crucial or important personal PII information in the database, you use hashing. Example, passwords. Now if I'm signing on anything like on Instagram, Facebook, I'm giving my username and password. They can't store the password as it is in the database. Any employee or anyone who is accessing that database can easily take the password, username, signs into the Instagram, and can do anything with your account, right? So it has to be encrypted, or it has to be tampered, so that anyone could not access the original password of yours. So hashing comes into picture in this concept that whenever the passwords or any crucial or important personal information has to be stored in the database, it has to be hashed. Cool. Now the next topic is encoding. Encoding, I would say it's a sorry, it's a less secure method. Like you have some data, you pass it to through some algorithm, like encoding algorithms, and then you get some encoded value. Now using this encoded value, you can pass it through the same algorithm which you used to encode it or tamper it. You can get the original data. So it is like really less secure, and it is used just for data transmission or data handling. Like if you have to send some information like passwords or something over the communication channels, like we can say Discord or Slack or Teams or something. So you will just encode that password or something, you will send over this channel, and they can use that encoded value to decode it and get the original password or something. So it is just used for data transmission or data handling, right? For example, I could show you of encoding is base 64 site. There is a base 64 encoder or decoder site where you can place any data. Like let's say I've placed password, and you press encode. So it will give you the encoded value. Now if you use the same value and go to the base 64 decoder and paste it there and decode it, you will get the original data that was password. Right, so it's of like it is used, but it is used in data transmission, data handling. It is not much of crucial use. That is the concept of encoding. Now comes to the encryption. Okay, now encryption, it is the most important way to secure your data, and each and every request or any communication happening between the user as well as the server, that means the client and the server, is encrypted. How? Whenever I'm logging in, whenever I'm interacting with any site, any app, anything on over the internet, it is encrypted. Why? Because it is an HTTPS protocol, and HTTPS uses internally SSL or TLS encryption. We will cover that as well. I have this SSL TLS concept being covered in my system design playlist. If you want, you can go through that. So encryption, yes, it is similar to encoding only. Encoding was also a two-way process, and it was reversible, since we saw that we can use the same algorithm to encode and decode the data. But in encryption, it is way too different from encoding. It is two-way process, right? Similar to encoding. It is also reversible, similar to encoding. But for encrypting the data and decrypting the data, we use different methods. Like there is this original data. It is passed through some encryption algorithm like SHA, RSA. There are multiple algorithms being used, and it's quite complex to implement encryption algorithms, and you get the encrypted data. Now, this encrypted data can be decrypted using only the keys or certificates or the tokens that only client and server has. So how it works is, it's like a long process. I'll create separate videos, like 2-3 more videos covering the encryption in detail. We will go through all the JWT tokens, OAuth tokens, and everything. So in this video, just understand that encryption is a two-way process. It is reversible. We use encryption algorithms that work completely on certificates as well as keys and tokens. So client has its own certificate, server has its own certificate to verify the identity that okay, they are legal, they should communicate between each other, right? So these certificates generate a certain type of keys, and these keys are only stored, like they are only accessible by the server as well as the client. And client and server uses these keys to encrypt the data as well as decrypt the data. They don't use any publicly available thing. No, not like encoding. And not like hashing, that if once encrypted, it can't be decrypted. No, it uses keys like public private keys or public keys to just decrypt and encrypt the data and send over the request. Then client has user information, my information, like username and password. It will encode the data, it will encrypt the data with using some keys or tokens. It will send over the network, like HTTPS request is made to the server. Server will decrypt that particular I would say payload in which the user name is there, password is there, everything is there, using the keys which it has. So once it uses the keys to decrypt the data, it will get the username and password, it will verify in the database, and then it will be seeing that okay, it matches, then user is able to log in, otherwise they'll give an authentication error. So these are encryption works in data communication, or when confidentiality is really important. So we have understood three concepts: hashing, encryption, encoding. I hope you understood. Like, hashing is just to store the data group, like personal information, into the database. Encoding is for data transmission, data handling. Encryption is the most important thing, and every communication is encrypted. So it is for data transfer again, like over the network, so that no one can attack, or even if they attacks it, they are not able to get the original data. I hope you understood these three topics. If you have any doubts, any queries, please do drop in the comment section. Also, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.